Hey there, everyone. Welcome to Mallard Creek High School, where we are visiting with Coach Dixon and the women's state basketball champion. How you doing, ladies? They are fired up, and of course, so are we. All right, so let's start with Coach Dixon first. So you get the win in overtime against Hoggard. Has it set in yet that you're state champions?
A little bit, but not all the way. I'm still processing all of the triumph and joy.
Was it just a blur that entire game? I mean, when we talk about, regulation, you go into overtime. Let's talk about overtime. What was just kind of going through your mind? Take me through those couple of minutes.
Well, I think in general, during overtime, you want to have momentum. And I think it was still really back and forth. So you were still on pins and needles going into overtime. And then, within that 4 minutes, it was definitely stressful.
So you'd been there 6 times in the Final Four. This was the first time to play in a state championship, and you win it. What does that mean to you as a coach? And you've been here five seasons?
Yes.
This was your 5th. As a coach, what does it mean to you?
It means a lot. Early on, before the playoffs started, we talked a lot about just the history of Mallard Creek girls basketball and the community really deserving for us to bring home a championship back to our school and to the Mallard Creek community as a whole. So I think that we, really set in on that fact and drove it home.
When you first started here at Mallard Creek, what was your goal when you first got here? Is it to win or build a culture? What kind of went through your mind when you first took the job here?
Yeah, well, obviously I came after CJ, and he was still here, so I had a mentor guiding me when I got here. But my goal, I never really thought about winning a state championship when I first started. It was more about just, building young women and helping them achieve their goals on and off the court. And then I guess, once we started knocking on the door, it was like, okay, we may need to try and bring it on home.
Right. So regional finals, you beat AK.
Mm-hmm.
What did that win mean in terms of, because that got you the state championship, but just to beat a team like Audrey Kell?
Yeah, Audrey Kell is a really good team. Latavia and I, we both played at Harding. She's a few years older than me, but we kind of have that same spirit coming from Harding University High School. So it was a huge win. They're well coached, and they wanted to win just as much as we did. But we talked about it being execution over emotion, and we wanted to hang our hat on that.
So to go to Wake Forest and play in that gym, Lawrence Joel, what do you do as a coach to get your kids ready for that type of atmosphere?
So we actually did practice at UNC Charlotte. So that was probably one of the main things. Yep.
Okay.
That was one of the main things that we did to try and prepare, and definitely thank you to them for allowing us to get in their space and get a feel for the bigger court and shooting on the goals that don't have a wall directly behind them.
Right.
So I think that helped out a lot. We didn't necessarily shoot it all that well.
Enough to win.
But yeah. So it definitely helped us get a feel for what that would be like in Wake Forest. But honestly, the arena at Wake Forest is humongous.
Yes.
So I think walking out, we were like, oh wow, this is big time. So
these ladies will go down as the first 8A champions in the history of North Carolina. Does that even add a little more to it? Because this is the first year of kind of craziness. You know what I'm talking about, right? It adds to the craziness. So what does that mean?
Yeah, I think it's just another piece of history. We definitely wanted to be the first in that regard, but I think it just even more important to be able to be the first for our school. So I know there's mixed feelings about the realignment and all of the the expanded classes, but I think it's given a lot of opportunity for more teams to get in there and have a shot. So we're happy to be a part of 8A, and I think it was a good first run.
Final question for you. Can you just talk about the support of the school, the administration, the students, the parents, and what they've meant on this journey?
Yeah. So our AD and our principal, they are very supportive of everything that we're trying to do, and building the culture and building the team and the program like it should be, and making sure that we have the resources and all the things that go into making sure that they have everything they need to go out there and compete. We have some wonderful parents, they fundraise, they are in the concession stands, they're coming up with different ways for us to make money and be able to provide for them, you know, these hoodies and sweatsuits and all of the things that, you know,
pretty sure.
things off the court that also do matter.
Right.
Uniforms, all of those kinds of things. And I think the student body has been really supportive of us as well. They made a trip up to Lenore Ryan and then up to Wake Forest. So, you know, it's very, very exciting time.